Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced from AlexMercedCoder.com. I wanted to announce the Merced UI coding contest. So the idea here is you create an application using the Merced UI library. Okay, submissions have to be in by April 30th, and the person who kind of creates the most interesting project using the Merced UI library. There are rules, so you may have to make sure you follow the rules. Wins $100. Okay, so head over to, you want to look up this GitHub repository, MercedUI Template. I'll put a link in the video description. But basically what you're going to do here is you are going to create an application. Okay, you're not going to use other front-end libraries like React, jQuery, Vue, Angular, Svelte, or Stencil. The point of this exercise is, one, for you to try out Merced UI library and realize it's not that hard to learn and not that hard to use, and has a pretty nice workflow. Okay, don't use Axios. Again, we want you to use a library, so we rather you use either the native fetch, that's fine, or you can use MUI request, which is really just an abstraction over fetch. So it just simplifies fetch a little bit. You should use some sort of backend, so you don't have to create your own backend. You can use a public API to create some sort of dynamic information, but just again get used to trying the different workflows inside with the Merced UI, working with asynchronous data requests and updating state and all that stuff. You can use Lodash, Moment, because Lodash offers you all those extra array functions and whatnot. So if you want to use those, use them. Moment or Day FNS if you need to work with dates. These are things that the Merced UI library doesn't really handle, so you can bring outside libraries to do that. But if you're going to use array functions, one second. Okay, so if you're going to use extra array functions, check out BetterTypes. BetterTypes is a library I made that allows you to kind of wrap your arrays in these classes like better array, better set, better map, and they give you access to all these extra array functions within a syntax that allows you to do all sorts of really cool stuff and make use of all the existing array functions. Cool. And if you don't mind adding a bunch of functions to the array prototype, there is the Merced UI library. Merced util library, which adds all those array functions, but adds them directly to arrays. So and then you can find that code here. If you find any bugs, that's also part of this whole contest. I want you guys to try this out, see if there's anything, go break it. Okay. Not break it because you made typos or you didn't used it wrong. Hopefully you don't, or hopefully you learn. But if you find genuine bugs where things are not working the way they're supposed to be working, please submit them as a GitHub issue here, so that way I can fix them. Okay, so you can just go over here to issues, submit an issue, and your entry must be submitted by April 30th. Okay, so you got some time. And the way you submit let me correct that. If you find the bug, submit it to the Merced UI repo. So don't submit it to the template. Go to the Merced UI repo and submit the issue there. If you want to submit your entry, then submit it as an issue to the template repo here, issues. Okay. And then on April 30th, I'll go take a look through all the entries. Again, I want to link to the live version, so go upload it to Netlify, Roku, whatever, GitHub Pages. Just get it somewhere where I can actually see the final result in action. Okay, I don't want to have to sit there. I'm not going to spend time deploying your own code. Okay, so if it's not already deployed, you're not going to win. And send me a link to the repo because I want to take a look at the actual code and see what you did and see how interesting it is. Again, when I say interesting, it doesn't necessarily mean complicated. It doesn't necessarily mean you did fancy stuff. It just means interesting that you did something cool, something that you create something that has a good user experience. I'm not going to be as focused on visuals because I'm not here to test your CSS. I'm not here to judge your CSS skills. I want to judge sort of your UI skills. So what kind of UI features, how do I interact? What's your interface look like? What do the buttons do? How do I feel as basically your user experience is what I'm judging. Okay. But I am confident as you get started with the Merced UI library, you'll find that making a great user experience is actually not that hard. It's going to be as easy, if not easier, than using React. Okay. Maybe even easier than using Svelte once you get the hang of it. Okay. Because you're literally just using normal JavaScript. So if your core JavaScript skills are strong, you're not necessarily having to learn new rules of how things work. We're not creating sort of new overly abstracted things. Okay, we simplify a lot of things. We automate a lot of the boilerplate, so that way you're just focusing on doing the code to do the things you want to do, but we don't necessarily change it to almost another language. So, yeah, so check it out. Make your submissions. Again, take a look through the file so you can see the kind of sample code that I put in there to give you an idea of how to use the library to create stuff. And I will see you guys later on. And again, check out the whole playlist of videos for MercedUI where I go through all the features as I've been creating them. And yeah, you kind of have it all. You have the ability to create components, you have the ability to work with forms, the ability to route. So you have a router link tag now. You have like Redux type, like reducer dispatch type features at a global and local level. So you have a global state and a local state. And then you have all these other really interesting features like map to string and map to DOM, which allow you to map templates to the DOM if you want. These are just interesting things you can use. So check it out. Have a great day and enjoy.